Have you ever felt different from everyone else? Like you're meant for something bigger, something special? Maybe you've had strange experiences that you can't explain, or dreams that seem more real than your waking life. If so, you might be one of the chosen 144,000. But what does that really mean? And how can you know for sure? Today, we're diving deep into the mystery of the 144,000 chosen ones. This isn't just some random number or made-up story. It's a powerful idea that's been around for thousands of years, showing up in different spiritual traditions all over the world. Some people believe these chosen ones are here to help guide humanity through tough times. Others think they're spiritual leaders with special powers. But no matter what you believe, one thing's for sure: the idea of the 144,000 chosen ones is fascinating and full of potential. So, let's explore this together. We'll look at where this idea came from, what it means to be chosen, and how you can tell if you might be one of the 144,000. Even if you're not sure about all this spiritual stuff, stick around. You might just learn something about yourself that you never knew before. Let's start with the basics. The 144,000 chosen ones are believed to be a special group of people with a unique spiritual purpose. They're not better than everyone else, but they are different. These chosen ones are said to have a strong connection to the spiritual world and a deep desire to help others. They're like spiritual superheroes, here to make the world a better place. Now, you might be wondering where this idea came from. Well, it's mentioned in some religious texts, like the Bible, but it's also part of many other spiritual beliefs around the world. Some people take the number 144,000 literally, while others see it as a symbol for a large group of spiritually awake people. Either way, the core idea is the same. There are people out there with a special calling to help humanity. It's important to remember that we're not here to say who's right or wrong about the 144,000. Everyone has their own beliefs, and that's okay. We're just exploring this idea together, with open minds and open hearts. Whether you believe in the chosen 144,000 or not, there's a lot we can learn from this concept about our own spiritual journeys and our place in the world. The idea of the 144,000 chosen ones didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's got a long and interesting history that spans thousands of years and crosses many different cultures. Let's take a little trip through time to see where this idea came from and how it's changed over the years. Our story starts way back in ancient times. Many old cultures had stories about special groups of people who were chosen by the gods or the universe for a higher purpose. These chosen ones were often seen as protectors, guides, or teachers for the rest of humanity. They weren't always called the 144,000, but the idea was similar: a select group with a big responsibility. In some Native American traditions, there are stories about star people or rainbow warriors who come to Earth to help during times of great change. These special beings are said to have knowledge and abilities that can help guide humanity towards a better future. Sound familiar? It's a lot like what people say about the 144,000 chosen ones today. Moving forward in time, we come to the origins of the specific number 144,000. This number shows up in the Bible, in the book of Revelation. It talks about 144,000 people who are sealed or marked by God. Some people interpret this literally, believing that exactly 144,000 people will be chosen. Others see it as a symbolic number, representing a large group of spiritually awakened individuals. But the idea of the 144,000 isn't just found in Christianity. It's popped up in various forms in other spiritual traditions too. In some New Age beliefs, the 144,000 are seen as light workers or starseeds, souls who have come to Earth from other dimensions or planets to help raise the planet's vibration and consciousness. Over time, the concept of the 144,000 has evolved and taken on new meanings. In modern spiritual circles, it's often associated with the idea of a global awakening. Many believe that as more people become spiritually aware, we're getting closer to having 144,000 fully awakened individuals who can help shift the entire planet towards a more loving and peaceful state. It's fascinating to see how this idea has stayed with us for so long, changing and adapting to fit different cultures and times. Whether you see it as a literal prophecy or a beautiful metaphor, the The story of the 144,000 chosen ones touches on something deep inside many of us. The feeling that we're here for a reason, that we have a part to play in making the world better. As we continue to explore this concept, keep in mind that it's not about being special or better than others. The idea of the 144,000 chosen ones is really about recognizing the potential for spiritual growth and positive change in all of us. Whether you believe you're one of the chosen or not, we all have the ability to make a difference in the world. So, now that we know where this idea came from, let's dig deeper. What does it really mean to be one of the chosen 144,000? What are they supposed to do? And how can you tell if you might be one of them? These are big questions, and we're going to explore them together. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's all about opening our minds to new ideas and seeing what resonates with us. In the next part of our journey, we'll look at some of the characteristics that are often associated with the 144,000 chosen ones. You might be surprised to find that some of these traits sound familiar to you. But don't worry if they don't. Remember, we're all on our own unique spiritual paths, and every path is valuable and important. As we continue, try to keep an open mind. Even if you're skeptical about the idea of chosen ones, there's a lot we can learn from exploring these concepts. They can teach us about our own inner strengths, our connection to others, and our potential to make a positive impact on the world. So let's keep going on this fascinating journey together, exploring the mystery of the 144,000 chosen ones and what it might mean for each of us. To really understand the idea of the 144,000 chosen ones, we need to dig deep into history. This concept didn't just appear out of thin air. It's got roots that stretch back thousands of years, touching many different cultures and beliefs along the way. Let's start our historical journey in ancient Mesopotamia, one of the earliest civilizations we know about. The people there had stories about special individuals chosen by the gods to bring messages to humanity. These chosen ones were often seen as a bridge between the divine world and the human world. They weren't called the 144,000 back then, but the idea of select individuals with a special purpose was already taking shape. As we move forward in time, we find similar ideas popping up in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians believed in the concept of Ma'at, which was all about balance and harmony in the universe. They had stories about certain individuals who were chosen to help maintain this balance. These chosen ones were often pharaohs or priests, but the idea was that they had a special responsibility to keep things running smoothly between the gods and humans. Now, let's hop over to ancient Greece. The Greeks had their oracles, like the famous Oracle of Delphi. These were people believed to be chosen by the gods to share divine wisdom with humans. Again, we see this idea of special individuals acting as a link between the spiritual and physical worlds. But it's not just ancient cultures in Europe and the Middle East that had these ideas. If we look at Native American traditions, we find stories about star people or rainbow warriors. These were believed to be special souls who came to Earth to help guide humanity, especially during times of great change. It's pretty similar to what people say about the 144,000 chosen ones today, isn't it? Now, you might be wondering, where does the specific number 144,000 come from? Well, for that, we need to look at the Bible, specifically the book of Revelation. This is where we first see the number 144,000 mentioned in connection with chosen individuals. In Revelation, it talks about 144,000 people who are sealed or marked by God. They're described as being from the 12 tribes of Israel, with 12,000 from each tribe. Some people take this literally, believing that exactly 144,000 people will be chosen. Others see it more symbolically, thinking the number represents a large group of spiritually awake people. It's important to note that even within Christianity, there are different interpretations of what the 144,000 means. Some see them as a special group that will be saved during the end times. Others view them as spiritual leaders meant to guide humanity. And still others see the number as purely symbolic, representing completeness or perfection, 12 by 12 by 1,000. But the idea of the 144,000 chosen ones isn't just found in Christianity. It's taken on a life of its own in various spiritual and New Age beliefs. In these circles, The 144,000 are often seen as lightworkers or starseeds, souls who have come to Earth from other dimensions or planets to help raise the planet's vibration and consciousness. Some believe that the 144,000 are spread out across the globe, quietly doing their work to help humanity evolve spiritually. Others think that the number is symbolic, representing a tipping point. When enough people become spiritually aware, it will trigger a global shift in consciousness. In some Native American prophecies, there's talk of a time when 144,000 Sundance enlightened teachers will awaken to help guide humanity. It's interesting to see how this specific number shows up in different traditions, isn't it? As we move into modern times, the concept of the 144,000 has continued to evolve. In the 20th and 21st centuries, it's become intertwined with ideas about global awakening and the shift to a new age of spiritual awareness. Many modern spiritual teachers and authors have written about the 144,000, each adding their own interpretation to the idea. Some see it as a call to action, encouraging people to awaken their spiritual potential and become part of this group of lightworkers. Others view it more metaphorically, as a symbol of the collective spiritual awakening of humanity. In recent years, the idea has spread through books, websites, and social media, reaching people all over the world. It's become a source of hope and inspiration for many, offering a sense of purpose and connection in a sometimes chaotic world. So, what does all this history mean for us today? Well, it shows us that the idea of chosen ones or spiritually awakened individuals helping humanity isn't new. It's an ancient concept that has resonated with people across cultures and throughout time. Whether you believe in the literal existence of 144,000 chosen ones, or see it as a beautiful metaphor, the core idea is powerful. It suggests that each of us has the potential to make a significant positive impact on the world. It encourages us to look within ourselves, to discover our own spiritual gifts, and use them to help others. The history of the 144,000 chosen ones also reminds us of our connection to each other and to the wider universe. It suggests that we're all part of something bigger, whether we call that God, the universe, or simply the interconnected web of all life. As we continue to explore this idea, remember that it's not about being special or better than others. The concept of the 144,000 chosen ones is really about recognizing the potential for spiritual growth and positive change in all of us. Whether you believe you're one of the chosen or not, we all have the ability to make a difference in the world. In the next part of our journey, we'll look at some of the characteristics that are often associated with the 144,000 chosen ones. You might be surprised to find that some of these traits sound familiar to you. But don't worry if they don't. Remember, we're all on our own unique spiritual paths, and every path is valuable and important. As we move forward, keep an open mind and heart. Even if you're skeptical about the idea of chosen ones, there's a lot we can learn from exploring these concepts. They can teach us about our own inner strengths, our connection to others, and our potential to make a positive impact on the world. So, are you ready to dive deeper into the mystery of the 144,000 chosen ones? Let's keep going on this fascinating journey together, exploring what it might mean to be chosen and how we can all tap into our spiritual potential to make the world a better place. Characteristics of the chosen. One of the most talked about traits of the 144,000 chosen ones is their spiritual sensitivity. But what does that really mean? Well, it's like having a special antenna that picks up on things that others might miss. People who are spiritually sensitive often feel a deep connection to the world around them. They might sense energies or emotions that others can't, or have strong intuitions about people and situations. If you're one of these spiritually sensitive folks, you might find yourself feeling overwhelmed in crowded places or around negative people. It's like you're picking up on all the emotions and energies swirling around you. On the flip side, you might feel incredibly peaceful in nature or in sacred spaces. It's as if you can tap into the energy of these places more easily than others. This sensitivity isn't always easy to deal with. It can make life feel intense and sometimes overwhelming, but it's also a gift. It allows you to understand and connect with others on a deeper level. You might be the person friends turn to when they need someone who really gets them. Your sensitivity helps you navigate the world in a unique way, often seeing beneath the surface to what's really going on. Another key characteristic of the chosen 144,000 is having a strong sense of purpose. This isn't just about knowing what job you want or what goals you have in life. It's a deeper feeling, a sense that you're here on earth for a reason. Many of the chosen ones feel like they have a mission, even if they're not always sure what that mission is. This sense of purpose often shows up early in life. You might have been the kid who was always trying to make the world a better place, whether by helping injured animals or standing up to bullies. As you've grown older, this feeling has probably gotten stronger. You might find yourself drawn to careers or activities that allow you to help others or make a positive impact on the world. Having a strong sense of purpose can be both exciting and challenging. On one hand, it gives your life direction and meaning. You wake up each day feeling like you have something important to do. On the other hand, it can sometimes feel like a heavy responsibility. You might feel frustrated when you can't do as much as you'd like to make things better. If you're one of the chosen ones, your sense of purpose isn't just about personal success. It's about contributing to the greater good, about leaving the world a little better than you found it. This doesn't mean you have to save the whole world single-handedly. Sometimes, your purpose might be as simple as bringing more kindness into your everyday interactions or inspiring others through your actions. A third key trait of the 144,000 chosen ones is a deep, genuine desire to help others. This isn't about doing good deeds to look good or earn praise. It's an inner drive, a heartfelt wish to ease suffering and bring more light into the world. If you're one of the chosen, you probably find yourself naturally drawn to helping roles. You might be the friend everyone turns to when they need advice or a shoulder to cry on. In your work life, you might be attracted to careers in healing, teaching, counseling, or other fields where you can directly impact people's lives for the better. This desire to help often extends beyond just the people in your immediate circle. You might feel a strong pull to volunteer, to support causes you believe in, or to fight for social justice. You may find yourself deeply affected by news of suffering in the world, wishing you could do more to help. The chosen ones often approach helping others with a sense of compassion and understanding. They don't judge those they help, but instead try to see the world from others' perspectives. This empathy allows them to offer support in ways that really resonate with people. It's important to note that this desire to help doesn't mean sacrificing your own well-being. In fact, the chosen ones often recognize that taking care of themselves is crucial if they want to be able to help others effectively. They understand the importance of balance, of filling their own cup so they have something to give to others. Many of the 144,000 chosen ones report feeling different from others, often from a very young age. This isn't about being better than anyone else, but about having a unique perspective or way of experiencing the world. If you're one of the chosen, you might have always felt like you didn't quite fit in with your peers. Maybe you had interests or ideas that seemed odd to others, or you found yourself questioning things that everyone else seemed to accept without thought. This feeling of being different can be isolating at times, but it's also what allows the chosen ones to bring new ideas and perspectives into the world. This sense of being different often comes with a feeling of not belonging fully to this world. Many of the chosen ones describe feeling like they're not from here, or that they're observing human society from an outsider's perspective. This can make it challenging to navigate everyday life sometimes, but it also allows for unique insights into human behavior and society. It's important to remember that feeling different doesn't mean being alone. Many of the chosen ones find great comfort and connection when they meet others who share their unique perspective. These encounters can feel like coming home, like finally finding your tribe. One of the most common signs that you might be one of the 144,000 chosen ones is having unusually vivid dreams or visions. These aren't your everyday dreams about showing up to school in your pajamas. We're talking about dreams that feel incredibly real, dreams that stick with you long after you wake up. If you're one of the chosen, your dreams might feel more like visits to other worlds or dimensions. You might meet spiritual guides or receive messages that seem to come from a higher source. Sometimes, these dreams might even feel prophetic, giving you glimpses of future events or insights into situations in your waking life. It's not just nighttime dreams either. Many of the chosen ones report having daytime visions or vivid mental images that seem to pop into their minds out of nowhere. These might be flashes of insight about a person or situation, or visual metaphors that help you understand complex spiritual concepts. These dreams and visions can be beautiful and inspiring, but they can also be confusing or even scary sometimes. It's like your mind is opening up to new levels of awareness, and that can be overwhelming at first. If you're experiencing this, it's important to remember that these experiences are a gift, even if they don't always feel like it in the moment. Many of the chosen ones find it helpful to keep a dream journal, writing down their dreams and visions as soon as they happen. This can help you start to see patterns or recurring themes in your experiences. Over time, you might start to understand the unique language of your dreams and visions, learning to interpret the messages they bring. Another sign that you might be one of the 144,000 chosen ones is having experiences that you can't easily explain. These might be moments that some people would call supernatural or paranormal, but to you, they feel very real and meaningful. For example, you might have experiences of déjà vu that go beyond just a vague feeling of familiarity. You might find yourself in situations where you know exactly what's going to happen next, as if you've lived through this moment before. Or you might have moments of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random chance. Some of the chosen ones report having out-of-body experiences or feeling like they're able to access information or memories that don't seem to come from their own lives. Others describe sensing presences around them, feeling guided or protected by unseen forces. You might also find yourself having unexplained physical experiences. Some of the chosen ones report feeling energy moving through their bodies, experiencing spontaneous healings, or even seeing auras or energy fields around people and objects. These experiences can be exciting, but they can also be confusing or even frightening, especially if you don't have a framework for understanding them. If you're having these kinds of experiences, it's important to approach them with an open mind and a sense of curiosity. Try to observe what's happening without judgment and see what you can learn from these unique perceptions. Remember, having unexplained experiences doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. For many of the chosen ones, these experiences are simply part of their spiritual awakening, signs that they're becoming more attuned to aspects of reality that most people don't perceive. A strong, reliable intuition is another common sign that you might be one of the 144,000 chosen ones. This isn't just about having hunches or gut feelings, although those are part of it. We're talking about a deep, inner knowing that guides you through life. If you're one of the chosen, you might find that you often know things without knowing how you know them. You might have a strong sense about whether a person is trustworthy or not, just from meeting them. Or you might know the right decision to make in a difficult situation, even when logic seems to point in a different direction. This intuition often shows up as a quiet voice inside you, or sometimes as a feeling in your body. You might get a tingle up your spine when something important is happening, or feel a heaviness in your stomach when something's not right. Over time, you've probably learned to trust these feelings, recognizing them as your inner guidance system at work. For many of the chosen ones, this strong intuition is coupled with a sense of being guided or protected. You might feel like you're being led down a certain path in life, with opportunities and synchronicities showing up just when you need them. This can give you a sense of confidence and trust in the universe, even when things get tough. Having a strong intuition doesn't mean you always know everything, or that you never make mistakes. But it does mean you have an extra tool in your toolkit for navigating life. It's like having an internal compass that helps you stay on your true path. If you're experiencing this strong intuition, it's important to nurture and develop it. Pay attention to those inner nudges and see where they lead you. The more you trust and act on your intuition, the stronger and clearer it tends to become. Many of the 144,000 chosen ones report feeling a strong pull towards spirituality, often from a young age. This isn't necessarily about following a specific religion, although it can be. It's more about feeling drawn to explore the deeper questions of life and to connect with something greater than yourself. If you're one of the chosen, you might find yourself naturally curious about spiritual topics. You might be drawn to books on philosophy, metaphysics, or different spiritual traditions. You might feel a strong urge to meditate or pray, even if you weren't raised in a religious household. This calling to a spiritual path often comes with a sense of seeking. You might feel like you're on a quest for truth or meaning, always looking for deeper understanding. You might find yourself questioning the nature of reality, wondering about the purpose of life, or contemplating what happens after death. For many of the chosen ones, this spiritual calling isn't just about personal growth. There's often a feeling that your spiritual journey is somehow connected to your purpose in the world. You might feel like you're meant to help others on their spiritual paths or to bring more light and awareness into the world. This calling can sometimes feel overwhelming. You might worry that you're not spiritual enough or that you're not doing enough to fulfill your purpose. It's important to remember that spirituality is a journey, not a destination. Every step you take on your path, every bit of growth and understanding is valuable. If you're feeling this call to a spiritual path, trust it. Follow your curiosity and see where it leads you. Remember, there's no one right way to be spiritual. Your path might involve traditional religious practices, or it might be more about connecting with nature or serving others. The important thing is that it feels authentic and meaningful to you. Being drawn to a spiritual path doesn't mean you have to withdraw from the world or spend all your time meditating on a mountaintop. For many of the chosen ones, spirituality is about bringing more light and love into everyday life. It's about seeing the sacred in the ordinary and helping to raise the vibration of the world around you. One of the biggest misconceptions about the 144,000 chosen ones is that they're somehow better or more special than other people. This couldn't be further from the truth. Being chosen isn't about being superior. It's about having a specific role to play in the world. If you're one of the chosen, you might actually feel more humble than prideful. You understand that your gifts come with responsibilities. You're not here to show off or to be admired, but to serve and to help. Many of the chosen ones feel a deep sense of gratitude for their abilities, seeing them as tools to be used for the greater good rather than as marks of personal superiority. It's important to remember that everyone has their own unique gifts and purpose. The chosen ones aren't more valuable than anyone else. They just have a particular set of traits and experiences that equip them for certain tasks. In the grand tapestry of life, every thread is important, whether it's bright and eye-catching or quiet and supportive. If you think you might be one of the chosen, remember to stay grounded and connected to others. Your abilities are meant to bring you closer to people, not to separate you from them. Use your gifts to uplift others, not to place yourself above them. Another common misconception is that the number 144,000 is literal, that there are exactly that many chosen ones in the world. While some people do believe this, many spiritual thinkers see the number as symbolic rather than exact. In numerology, 144,000 is seen as a powerful number. It's 12, often considered a number of completeness, multiplied by 12,000. Some interpret this as representing a complete cycle or a fullness of spiritual awakening. Others see the 144,000 as representing a critical mass, the number of awakened individuals needed to trigger a global shift in consciousness. In this view, once enough people reach a certain level of spiritual awareness, it creates a ripple effect that can transform the entire planet. It's also worth noting that in some spiritual traditions, numbers are used symbolically to represent concepts rather than exact quantities. So the 144,000 might be a way of describing a group that's both large enough to have a significant impact and small enough to be special or set apart. Whether you see the number as literal or symbolic, the core idea remains the same. There's a group of spiritually awakened individuals whose purpose is to help guide humanity towards a more conscious, compassionate way of living. Perhaps the most important misconception to clear up is the idea that being one of the chosen 144,000 is all about receiving special powers or privileges. In reality, being chosen comes with significant responsibilities. If you're one of the chosen, you might find that your gifts sometimes feel more like burdens. Your sensitivity to energy might make it hard to be in crowded places. Your strong intuition might lead you to make choices that others don't understand. Your sense of purpose might make you feel constantly driven, making it hard to relax or switch off. Being chosen often means being called to step out of your comfort zone, to speak up when it would be easier to stay quiet, to take action when others are standing still. It might mean making sacrifices in your personal life to fulfill what you see as your mission. Many of the chosen ones report feeling a sense of urgency, a knowledge that their work is important and that time is of the essence. This can be stressful, but it's also what drives them to keep going even when things get tough. It's important to remember that being chosen doesn't mean you have to save the world single-handedly. Your responsibility is to play your part, to use your gifts in whatever way feels right to you. Sometimes that might mean doing big, world-changing things. Other times, it might mean simply being kind to someone who's having a bad day. If you think you might be one of the chosen, remember to balance your sense of responsibility with self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup, so taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary to fulfill your purpose. One of the primary roles of the 144,000 chosen ones is to act as spiritual leaders. But this doesn't necessarily mean standing on a stage giving speeches or writing best-selling spiritual books, although some might do these things. More often, it means leading by example, showing others a different way of being in the world. If you're one of the chosen, you might find that people are naturally drawn to you for guidance. Friends might come to you with their problems, sensing that you'll have a unique perspective to offer. You might find yourself in situations where you're able to offer comfort or insight to strangers. Your leadership might be quiet and behind the scenes. You might be the person who always remains calm in a crisis, helping others to center themselves. Or you might be the one who asks the deep questions that get people thinking about their lives in new ways. Many of the chosen ones find themselves drawn to teaching or mentoring roles. This might be in a formal setting, like becoming a teacher or counselor. Or it might be more informal, like starting a meditation group or sharing your insights through art or writing. Remember, being a spiritual leader isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to explore the questions, to stay open to new insights, and to share what you've learned with others. Another crucial role of the 144,000 chosen ones is to provide help and support during challenging times. Many spiritual traditions speak of a time of great change or upheaval, and the chosen ones are believed to play a key role in guiding humanity through these difficulties. If you're one of the chosen, you might find that you're able to stay grounded and centered even when everything around you seems to be in chaos. You might have a knack for seeing the bigger picture, helping others to find meaning and purpose even in the midst of struggle. This role isn't just about big, world-changing events. It's also about being there for people in their personal moments of crisis. You might be the friend who knows just what to say when someone loses a job or goes through a breakup. You might have a gift for helping people find hope when they're feeling hopeless. Many of the chosen ones are drawn to professions that involve helping others through difficult times, things like counseling, healthcare, or crisis support. But even if your job isn't directly related to helping, you might find that you naturally step into this role in your personal life. Remember, being a helper doesn't mean you have to fix everyone's problems. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply be present with someone in their pain, offering a listening ear and a compassionate heart. At its core, the role of the 144,000 chosen ones is about spreading love and light in the world. This might sound a bit vague or new agey, but it's actually very practical and down to earth. Spreading love might mean being kind to the cashier who's having a bad day, or forgiving someone who's hurt you. It might mean standing up against injustice or offering support to someone who's struggling. Love isn't just a feeling, it's an action, a choice you make in each moment to treat others with compassion and respect. Spreading light is about raising awareness, helping people to see things from new perspectives. If you're one of the chosen, you might find that you're often the one pointing out the silver lining in difficult situations, or helping people to see the lessons in their challenges. You might be drawn to share knowledge or insights that help people understand themselves and the world better. This role of spreading love and light isn't about big, dramatic gestures. More often, it's about the small choices you make each day. It's about choosing love over fear, understanding over judgment, hope over despair. It's about recognizing the divine in everyone you meet and treating them accordingly. If you're one of the chosen ones, you might find that you're constantly looking for ways to make the world a little bit brighter. This might be through your work, your art, your relationships, or simply through the energy you bring to each interaction. Remember, spreading love and light doesn't mean you have to be perfect or positive all the time. It's okay to have bad days or negative emotions. What matters is your overall intention and the general direction in which you're moving. Whether you believe you're one of the 144,000 chosen ones or not, developing your spiritual side can be a powerful way to embrace your potential and make a positive impact in the world. Start by setting aside time each day for spiritual practice. This could be meditation, prayer, journaling, or any activity that helps you connect with your inner self and the wider universe. Even just a few minutes a day can make a big difference over time. Explore different spiritual teachings and practices. Read books, attend workshops, or join a spiritual community that resonates with you. Remember, spirituality is a personal journey. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. Trust your intuition and go with what feels right. Pay attention to your dreams and intuitions. Keep a dream journal and take time to reflect on the messages and symbols that show up in your dreams. Practice listening to your inner voice and trusting your gut feelings. Spend time in nature. Many people find that being in natural settings helps them feel more connected to the spiritual realm. Whether it's a walk in the park or a weekend camping trip, make time to connect with the natural world. Remember, developing your spiritual side isn't about reaching some perfect state of enlightenment. It's about growing, learning, and becoming more aware. Every step you take on this path is valuable. One of the key characteristics of the 144,000 chosen ones is a desire to help others. Whether or not you identify as one of the chosen, cultivating this desire can be a powerful way to embrace your potential and make a positive impact in the world. Start small. Look for opportunities in your daily life to be kind or helpful. This could be as simple as holding the door for someone, offering a listening ear to a friend, or volunteering in your community. Use your unique gifts and talents to help others. If you're good at math, maybe you could tutor students who are struggling. If you're a talented artist, perhaps you could donate your work to a charity auction. Think about what you're good at and how you could use those skills to benefit others. Practice compassion. Try to see things from other people's perspectives, even when you disagree with them. Respond to anger or unkindness with understanding and patience. Remember, everyone is fighting their own battles. Don't forget about self-care. Helping others is important, but it shouldn't come at the expense of your own well-being. Make sure you're taking care of yourself so that you have the energy and resources to help others. Remember, you don't have to do big, world-changing things to make a difference. Small acts of kindness and compassion can have a ripple effect, touching more lives than you might realize. Trusting your intuition is a key part of embracing your potential, whether you're one of the chosen ones or not. Your intuition is like an internal guidance system, helping you navigate life's challenges and opportunities. Start by paying attention to your gut feelings. When you're making a decision, notice how different options feel in your body. Does one choice make you feel light and expansed, while another makes you feel heavy or constricted? These physical sensations can be clues from your intuition. Practice listening to your inner voice. This might mean setting aside quiet time for reflection, or it might mean learning to tune into your intuition even in the midst of daily life. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to hear and trust this inner guidance. Don't be afraid to act on your intuitive hunches, even if they don't always make logical sense. You might be surprised at where they lead you. At the same time, remember that intuition works best when it's balanced with reason. Use your intuition as a guide, but don't ignore practical considerations entirely. Remember that developing your intuition is a process. There might be times when you misinterpret your intuitive signals or make choices that don't work out as you'd hoped. That's okay. It's all part of the learning process. Be patient with yourself and keep practicing. Trusting your intuition doesn't mean you'll always make perfect choices or never face challenges, but it can help you navigate life with more confidence and authenticity, making choices that align with your true self and your highest purpose. Staying open to spiritual growth is crucial, whether you identify as one of the 144,000 chosen ones or not. Spiritual growth is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There's always more to learn, more ways to expand your awareness and deepen your connection to the universe. Approach life with a sense of curiosity and wonder. Be willing to question your beliefs and consider new perspectives. Remember that growth often happens when we step out of our comfort zones and challenge ourselves to see things differently. Be patient with yourself. Spiritual growth isn't always smooth or linear. There might be times when you feel stuck or like you're moving backwards. That's normal and okay. Trust that even the challenging times are part of your growth process. Seek out experiences that expand your consciousness. This might mean traveling to new places, engaging with different cultures, or exploring altered states of consciousness through meditation or other spiritual practices. Always do this safely and responsibly, of course. Connect with others on a spiritual path. Join a spiritual community, attend workshops or retreats, or simply have deep conversations with like-minded friends. Sharing your journey with others can provide support, inspiration, and new insights. Remember that spiritual growth isn't separate from the rest of your life. Look for the spiritual lessons in your everyday experiences, in your relationships, your work, even in your challenges and setbacks. Stay open to signs and synchronicities. The universe might be trying to guide you or show you something important. Pay attention to recurring themes, meaningful coincidences, or sudden insights. Above all, trust the process. Your spiritual journey is unique to you. Embrace it with an open heart and an open mind, and see where it leads you. As we come to the end of our exploration of the 144,000 chosen ones, it's important to remember that this concept, whether taken literally or symbolically, is ultimately about recognizing and embracing our potential to make a positive difference in the world. Whether you believe you're one of the chosen ones or not, the qualities we've discussed, spiritual sensitivity, a sense of purpose, a desire to help others, intuition, and a calling to a spiritual path, are valuable traits that can enrich your life and the lives of those around you. The idea of the 144,000 chosen ones reminds us that each of us has a unique role to play in the grand tapestry of life. We each have our own gifts, our own purpose, our own way of bringing light into the world. The key is to recognize these gifts, to nurture them, and to use them in service of something greater than ourselves. Remember, being chosen isn't about being better than others or having an easy life. It's about recognizing your responsibilities and rising to meet them. It's about doing the inner work necessary to become the best version of yourself, so that you can more effectively help others and contribute to the world. As you continue on your own spiritual journey, stay open to growth and new experiences. Trust your intuition, but also remain grounded in practical reality. Seek to balance your inner development with outer action in the world. Most importantly, be kind to yourself and others along the way. We're all on this journey together, each playing our part in the evolution of human consciousness. Every act of love, every moment of increased awareness, every choice to help rather than harm, these all contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. Whether you're one of the 144,000 or not, you have the power to make a difference. Your life matters. Your choices matter. Your love matters. So go forth with courage and compassion, embracing your potential and shining your unique light in the world. The world needs what only you can give.